Voice of Africa TV. Today we have a very special guest with us who goes by the name of Mr. Luis Munana. He is a TV producer, a writer, a creative director, and the founder of various companies. Thank you for coming on our platform today, Mr. Luis.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm humbled and honored to be here today.
Sure. Can you please tell us a little bit about your childhood growing up?
Okay, so I grew up in Rundu. It is in the northern parts of Namibia. It's a small town. I am the last born of 6, so I was an overachiever in school as a child. You know, I did everything from sports to your social clubs, to your recreations, to your debating, to everything basically. So I was that child, you know, that annoying principal's pet or teacher's pet or whatever. That was me right there, you know. So yeah, I mean, brought up in a Christian home because my dad was a priest or is a priest. Yeah, so my childhood was pretty much very basic in a sense that it's your typical overachiever child, the one who wants to eventually take over the world, you know. So you do as much as you can while you can because there's nothing else ahead of you. So yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. My dad's actually, well, not a priest, but he's a pastor as well. So I definitely can relate with you on, you know, kind of some type of upbringings.
Okay. PK.
Yes, sir. You know, so you do a lot, you know, so you have a lot of titles, you do a lot of things. Were there any role models or mentors that you had that you could confide in his or her process? Or was it just your ambition to, you know, be successful?
Okay, so basically my country, Namibia, our population is 2 million. That's how many people we are in my country. So with a population of 2 million, obviously the landmass is quite big because our landmass is almost as big as South Africa, Angola, and all the other African countries. But population-wise, we are a very, very small country, 2 million, 2 point something million. So with that, it's a very virgin country in a sense that most of the things that you find outside of Namibia don't happen here. Like our musical influences, our celebrities are not all from Namibia. They are from other African countries because we consume content from other countries. Even in our commercial space, it's something that we get from other countries. So with that being said, the influences weren't really there. They weren't found here in Namibia. Like I mentioned, growing up, I was an overachiever. So I already set my mind to, I'm not going to do my varsity. I'm not going to study in Namibia. I want to study outside. So I went to South Africa. So that's where most of my influences grew. I went there with the desire and aim to study accounting. Okay. So I wanted to become a chartered accountant. Somewhere along the line, somewhere along the line, I started modeling, and then I got in front of cameras and I fell in love with the media space. So my influences were the fact that my mind broadened when I traveled. So through my experiences as a model, I would travel across Africa, travel to Europe, travel to the States or whatever. I sort of developed a love and an interest for the media field, you know, the whole being in front of the camera, behind the camera, creating and producing. So that influenced me. So I'd say my influence was the world at large, you know, having experience and being exposed to things that I cannot find in my home country. So that is what created that desire and that urge. Of course, there were people that did influence me, but these people are all people I admire externally, you know, so people who've been doing things in their fields for a very long time. So I'd say that would be my overall influence. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes a lot of sense. So how has your vision, you know, for successful entertainment kind of evolved as you become more familiarized in the industry?
Sorry, come again?
How has your vision, you know, in entertainment evolved as you become more familiarized? You know, you're going abroad, you know, you're seeing the Western world aspect of how they handle things. How has that, you know, helped you in your, you know, ambitions in the industry?
Oh, okay. So coming back home, my idea or the reason why I opted to come back to my tiny country was because of lack. So I noticed every time I travel out to to do jobs outside of the country and to work outside of the country, people would always ask me, why are you going outside, or what are you going to do? So I'd explain to them, I'm going to work, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this in these various fields. So they're like, oh, okay, cool, it sounds interesting. And then I realized that we don't have local influences in these fields. It's stuff that we consume, but we don't create, we don't put it out there. That's when I decided, you know what, it's time to stay. And I've learned from being out there. Now it's time to bring all of that knowledge and plow it back in my home country. Let's do it here, because what's the point of always living? Because at some point you would be stuck here. So do something for the child from your hometown, or from a little girl in the village, or from a small town. Let them experience it within their own country. So the idea for that was, because consuming things from outside means that you eventually start to lose your own identity, especially if you consume too much of the Western world, too much West. You start to lose your roots and what makes you. You start to lose your authenticity. So yeah, so take what you've learned and make it your own, translate it into the African sense, translate it into your cultural sense. So that's what that influence has taught me.
No, it's very interesting that you touched upon that. So how does, you mentioned you did some modeling, when you moved to South Africa as well. How does your role in the fashion industry, kind of play into what interests you about business and entertainment?
Okay, so basically the modeling was a means to an end, because I know it's such a typical story, but obviously I couldn't afford to pay for my uni. Okay. For university, like my fees and all of that. So that came as, okay, this is something you can do on the side. Go ahead and do it. And it was basically a means to an end, which I did. So because of that, it opened doors to the other things that I'm doing now. I literally learned from that. So that's why it was there. It was something that I learned and fell in love with and decided to do for my country as well. So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question. I feel like I didn't.
No,
yeah.
I think it did. No, for sure.
Okay.
So has it been, always a goal of yours to work on a social justice project? I know you're involved in creating the WACO Learn Academy right now.
Yeah.
Can you please talk on exactly what that is about and what it entails?
Okay, so Waka Waka Mu as a brand came about because of an interest for ECD, which is early childhood development. It's an area that I am deeply in love with. I love working with kids. I love developing a child's mind, because we have so many social ills in my country. There's violence, there's gender-based violence towards kids, women, and children. There is girls being raped and all of that. So Waka Waka Mu was founded because of the putting the child in the center element, because kids are usually sidelined, and then we as a nation try to address social ills when we are in our adult phase. We try to tackle a problem when it's already big. So Waka was there to say, let's start small. Let's start tackling kids at a very young age, to train them, to teach them, to educate them, to make them feel involved, to make them feel seen. Once you start at a very young age, you sort of start to mold and groom a child for them to become responsible, caring, loving citizens. So that was the whole idea behind that. And with Waka, we were able to establish Namibia's first animated cartoon TV series, which is also only a few countries in Africa actually have an existing cartoon series. So with the cartoon series, we were also able to form an academy which teaches kids literally on a daily basis. It's a preschool, a daycare, a center of learning, a hub of learning where kids come. We take all our messaging on the road across the countries, because not everybody has access to us. So we go to where the people are by traveling across our country, going deep in the villages, going to places like remote areas where people don't even have access to televisions and all of that. So that's basically the Waka brand, and I can proudly say that it was also it made an impact as far as Europe and the States as well. You know, like our show was licensed to air in Canada, the Jamaicas, in the UK, in the US as well. So it's something that I'm quite proud of. Like, I love talking about WACO. It was something that really, really, really changed a lot of Namibian lives and changed my life too. So yeah, it's something that hasn't gone unnoticed or unseen.
No, that's huge. You said that so casually as well. Like, it's something that's been in Jamaica, Canada, US. That's massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
You talk about, you know, the importance of, you know, shows like Waka Waka Mu that kind of touches on, you know, our culture as Africans being aired in, you know, the Western world.
Yeah. Yes. So the one thing that's exciting about Waka Waka Mu is the fact that okay, like I mentioned, we are a nation of consumers. We consume animations, programming, everything is coming from the West. Most of it is not our own. So my nieces and nephews were literally at home watching cartoons, and they were watching Princess Sophia and Peppa the Pig and all of this. And they knew all the lyrics, they knew all the songs, they knew all the names of the characters. So that sparked something inside of me to say that, what about our own African folklores? I mean, we have heroes, we have African stories, we have leaders, we have all of this, but nobody's taking this information and immortalizing it or putting it in a way that kids can consume and understand. So the one thing I'm proud about Waka Waka Mu is that it does exactly that. It takes African leaders, for example, makes them cool, you know, takes African history, makes it cool. And it's not just Namibia, it's literally, we touch different African countries and makes them like into warriors. They have superpowers. Most of it is fictional, but it's based on real characters. So they are learning and they are consuming, they're experiencing. So it's basically an ECD term, learn through play. That's exactly what they're doing. And the fact that it's animations, cartoons in Africa, to me, that's like, it's solid, man. It's something I'm really proud to talk about.
Yeah, very interesting. I definitely commend you for that as well. Because just thinking about it, I can't name one African, you know, cartoon I've ever seen, like ever.
Are you serious?
Yeah, seriously. I lived in Ghana for 12 years, and we never had anything. So I mean, you're definitely on the right path, and I feel like, you know, you are, you know, the pace setter, and then hopefully, you know, after some time, you're able to, you know, every African country and, you know, the Western world.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully one day we get to put it on a big screen, you know, with Disney or Pixar films or something. We like create something like a very big movie that everybody around the world can consume, which is the dream, by the way. So yeah, man, watch this space.
I believe it. I mean, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. I believe it 100%. I saw you, like, this man's going places. So, you know, as talk about you going places, you are an accomplished, you know, individual. You were just honored recently as one of Forbes Africa 30 under 30. What's your next goal or achievement that you seek?
Sorry, come again. My next achievement that I seek.
Yeah. Apart from these accolades that you have. I mean, you talked about this.
Being on the Forbes list put a mark on my back. Like, I was literally a target because everybody was like, oh my gosh, what is it going to do next? And people would ask me for money a lot. And I'm like, guys, it's not that deep, relax. But yeah, the next goal is to bring the world to Africa and take Africa to the world, you know. I'm in a process of collaborating with lots of other African creatives, like you said. So aside from just being being bounded in Namibia, I'm going to explore a lot, you know, go to various African countries, go to the Western worlds as well, just to see how we can collaborate. So like I mentioned, I want us to go global. I really want the projects that I'm working on, be it from the TV producing, be it from the fashion and textiles, be it from the branding and all of that. I want to work in a global economy, you know, because I'm tired of playing small. I'm tired of playing in the Namibian field. I'm tired of playing in the African field. I want to play on a global field, work with different Africans, work with other people across the world, just to have something that the whole world can consume as a whole. That's my main goal. So yeah, hopefully the vaccine comes through and then we get to travel and just experience all these other people and experience traveling again and experience closing these deals outside of the country. So
No,
That's the expectation right there. Yeah.
no, it's definitely dope, and I think you achieve all of those. As long as you're consistent. You have been consistent for the past couple of years. So the top is the aim for sure. So how do you
Amen.
envision the future of Africa?
Sure. I mean, this is it, man. I feel like it's time for Africa. The vision of Africa is the world needs to come to us as much as we go to the world. So I see Africa as a hub for creativity, as a hub, excuse me, as a hub for learning, as a hub for exchange, as a hub for culture and all of that infusion. Literally, if we go back to history, the world would come to Africa. We had the University of Timbuktu, which was in Mali. So they had the fountain of knowledge. So that's where the library was, where all the books and all of our ancestors did the most back in the day. But then somehow all of that was lost, but it's starting to come back gradually. People are starting to take notice of Africa once again, be it in music, in arts, entertainment, and all of that. So my vision for Africa is to become that hub once more, to become the hub once again. We need to put ourselves back on top again because we were at one point on top. So we are getting there gradually, slowly but surely. We're definitely getting back on top.
Yeah, sure. I definitely do agree with you on that as well. Do you have any advice for anyone that wants to follow in your footsteps?
Advice is a tribe. A tribe is very important. So by a tribe, I mean have your people in your corner. I say that because when I got my degree in accounting, I realized that wasn't my calling in life. That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to be stuck behind a desk job doing numbers over and over again for the rest of my life. But as an African, we have what we call black tax, which means you owe it to the people that come behind you. You owe it to your family to keep paying and supporting and all of that. But with that, it means that you can't really pursue your dreams in the creative and entertainment space as much as you would like to, because there's a certain expectation of you. Right. So I took a decision and I said, no, this isn't going to be my life. I'm not going to do something just because I have to do it. So with that came my tribe. My tribe is a group of people that, number one, believed in me, a group of people that saw my potential at a very, very, very early stage. A group of people that said, yo, you can sleep on my couch for as long as you want. Do you? Eventually something is going to pan out. So my tribe was there for me psychologically. They were there for me financially. Mm-hmm. So they believed in my dream. So my advice would be find a tribe, find your people that are going to support you in whatever it is that you do. Follow your calling, despite whatever beliefs you have, despite whatever cultures you have. If you have a dream inside of you, and if there's a message that's given to you for you to fulfill, if you have a mission on this earth, you should do it. I know it's very difficult, but I'm speaking from experience. I knew I had a path, because literally all my projects that I work on, my businesses and stuff, it touches a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people. That's because I knew that this was my calling. So follow your calling, find your tribe, do you, man. The rest will take care of itself. So that's my message.
Oh, sure. Thank you for the insight as well. Hopefully anyone that's listening then, can use those and hopefully better their life. Because especially with that culture thing, I feel like it affects a lot of, youth in Africa, having to follow, maybe, being pressured into going to uni, being a doctor or a lawyer or something,
of course,
like for 40 years and that kind of like lineage. Yeah, I definitely do agree with that. And the last question is, how can the Voice of Africa support your causes or any of the projects that you have?
I realized something very important. This was during the Forbes listing. It's important to have a network. It's important to have a network, especially when you want to branch out and collaborate with other like-minded individuals or people that see your potential or people that you can collaborate and work with. So you guys can literally hook me up with your network. So if I say, for example, I'm coming to the States and I want to meet people that can help me take this to the next level, or if in turn there are people who want to come to Namibia or to Southern Africa and they're looking for A, B, C, and D, I can be of assistance. So that network is very important. So that's what I would ask, for us to collaborate more, for us to do exchanges, for us to keep in touch, to say that there's someone in film, for example, who wants to do a project in Southern Africa. Cool, hit me up. I know people in Botswana, in South Africa, in Namibia, in Angola, in Zimbabwe, in Zambia. Let's work, let's collaborate. I can even say, okay, fine, you are only planning to go to South Africa, but let's extend it. Come to Namibia. It's literally two hours away with a flight. And then we can see how we can help you. Let's help each other. So if I come to the States, for example, I can say, yo, I'm coming through. What can we do? Like, let's work. Let's collaborate.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we definitely stay in touch. And thank you, Mr. Lewis, for coming on our platform again.
Thank you so much for having me.
For sure.